Any mention for unlisted matter? Any mention for unlisted matter? From the main list, item number 1.
May it please Your Lordship, in this matter, I pray for some accommodation today because the...
What is the matter about?
My Lord, this is the matter where whether the public money has been siphoned off by paying more compensation amount with regard to the expansion of the Umrah Airport. This is a matter about, my Lord.
Yes. So we've been quite accommodating, madam.
Yes, Your Lordship, because the senior counsel is holding an election today. Your Lordship.
This is also important. Court matter is also important.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Let's start. Let's see how much
Yes.
we progress.
Yes, my Lord.
There are three parties
There are three parties, my Lord.
who've been.
I'm appearing for one of the notice respondents.
You're for one. Mr. Mahanta was appealing for.
Well, I'm for one of them.
Mr. Chakraborty is for one, and who's for the third?
Mr. Sangreso is appealing for one.
Okay.
Miss
Mr. Mahanta was appealing now?
No.
No.
No change.
Okay. Very well. Let's start.
My Lord, very gist I will give, my Lord. Now, before the district judge, there were two issues that those were supposed to be determined. The issue number 1 was, my Lord, whether the public money has been squandered as suggested by offering higher rate of compensation, which is against the rate offered by the owner and the rate at which she purchased just before acquisition. That is one issue. The second issue was,
Acquisition was under 1894 Act.
my Lord, no, that subsequently under the new Act of 2013, invoking Section 40. Initially, it was under the old Act, but then it reached a deadlock with regard to 32 acres of land until this court interfered. Then by then the new Act has come. So urgency clause was invoked, Section 40, Section 11 notification was issued under the new Act of Section 11. That is how it proceeded.
Let us see, this inquiry was taken up pursuant to a Supreme Court direction.
My Lord, yes.
So let us see that Supreme Court order.
Supreme Court's order, my Lord.
Is it part of the papers anywhere?
My Lord, it is not a part of the papers, but I could have been, may I just read it, my Lord?
No, we must see it.
It is in one of the affidavit, Your Lordship.
One of the affidavits. The affidavit filed by you.
No, sorry, my Lord, it's not with my affidavit, but the affidavit filed by the noticee respondent, my Lord, Joint Secretary,
You are appealing for the third respondent.
my Lord. That is at page, Your Lordship.
So it is page 63, my Lord, page 63 of the affidavit filed by the Deputy Commissioner, Dr. Pooja Pandey.
What is the date of the affidavit?
The date of the affidavit is, my Lord, is somewhere June 2018,
June 2018.
my Lord.
Affidavit filed by?
This is by the Dr. Mrs. Pooja Pandey, Director Administration, Medical and Health Services by then. She was the Deputy Commissioner at that point of time.
Would it be an affidavit filed on 7th of February?
No, my Lord, this is 7th of June, June, the dates are not given, 8th of June.
8 June 2018, 6.
The affidavit filed. Show cause reply.
Yes, my lord, show cause reply. So 63 is the Supreme Court's order.
Just a second. Yes,
My lord, yes. My lord, 63, should I read the entire thing or only the operating part, my lord? The operating part would be, my lord, the page.
no, let's see the order, we'll understand the circumstances.
My lord, yes,
Because we don't know the backdrop.
my lord.
Who is appearing for Patricia Nongsage?
I'm appearing, Your Lordship.
You are appearing. So you have the entire money in your bank, we suppose?
Lordship. Lordship. My Lord.
You have the entire amount in your bank account?
No, my Lord. I have made a statement in my affidavit.
Yes.
Out of that money, my Lord, 15.5 crores, I have invested in procuring some other land.
Who has given you the authority to do so?
No, not after, much before that.
Much before that? Very well. Let us, first and foremost, let us sumo to rule of contempt be issued against Patricia Nongsage, returnable a week from date.
No, Lordship.
For flagrantly violating orders of the Supreme Court, an order of the Supreme Court dated August 2, 2017, in as much as she has admitted, according to counsel appearing on her behalf, to have expended monies from her bank account in making an investment despite the freezing order pertaining to her bank account passed by the Supreme Court. Full stop. Paragraph. Will you accept the rule, service of the rule?
My lord.
You will not? We know how to.
I'll accept.
We know how to.
No, I'll accept your lordship.
Since counsel waives service of the rule, the rule is made returnable a week hence. Yes. Now proceed.
My lord.
Just a second. Let's just finish this. So the questions are at page 4.
My lord.
First is whether public money has been squandered.
Yes.
Second is who is entitled to compensation.
Compensation.
Then, pending such consideration, we enjoin Patricia Nonsuch from parting with the money available with her, which aspect may be overseen by the Deputy Commissioner concerned. Similarly, money available with Stayed Dakar may also kept intact. Who is appearing for Stayed Dakar?
Your Lordship, I'm appearing for.
Yes, and the money is there?
Your Lordship.
The money is there?
Yes, Your Lordship.
Very well. It is also recorded that a statement has been made. What is your name, madam?
P. Vishwakarma, Your Lordship.
P.
Vishwakarma.
By Ms. P. Vishwakarma, appearing for Stayed Dakar, that in terms of the order of the Supreme Court of August 2, 2017, the money in her bank account has not been touched on account of the freezing order passed in respect thereof by the Supreme Court. Full stop. Yes.
My lord. Now,
Very
my
good.
lord.
So these are the two questions.
Yes, my lord.
Now, where is the inquiry report?
The inquiry report, my lord, it's
And one more thing is that yes. Where is the inquiry report?
my lord, it's the report dated is 24/11/2007. It's the entire
24/11/2017.
24/11/2017. My lord. This is in the paper book, my lord.
It's not part of the papers. The report is not part of the papers. We need another copy of the report. Just let us come to the conclusion. What does he say?
Conclusion, my lord, that is at page 94, my lord.
94.
The conclusions, it starts from paragraph 189, my lord.
189.
189, my lord.
Yes.
May I read, my lord, page 189, paragraph 189, my lord, that on scrutiny of records and the statements of the interested persons, the following conclusion is arrived. The claim of State Dakar and Sri Mac Shira does not merit consideration for the reasons discussed and mentioned in paragraphs 114 up to 116 and 117 up to 133. My lord has got?
Yes.
Okay. Now, 194, my lord, paragraph. Srimati Belinda Lapang was examined, and from her statement it is discerned that she was a tenant of State Dakar and she was aggrieved by the forceful eviction by Srimati Patricia Nonsuch and Srimati State Dakar. Srimati Belinda Lapang does not lay any claim on the land or the compensation awarded Srimati Nonsuch. That from the records it transpires that Srimati Belinda Lapang has instituted a title suit against Srimati State Dakar before the subordinate district council court Shillong, which was registered as title suit number 7 of 2016, and the learned subordinate district court Srimati W. Phira was pleased to grant an interim injunction by order dated 31/03/2016. Srimati Belinda Lapang could not throw any light on the proceedings before the district council court. 192 From the record, it is found that Belinda Lapong was aggrieved by the forceful eviction, and as such, she preferred SLP so-and-so, impugning the order dated 15/12/2015, passed by the Honorable High Court of Meghalaya in WPC number 164 of 2015. That in compliance with the order dated 02/08/2016, passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in civil number so-and-so, arising out of so-and-so, the Deputy Commissioner, Riboy District, has handed over 32 acres of land to the defense authorities on 27/10/2017.
Where are the answers to the two questions?
Yes, my lord, it is coming down there.
We want only the answers
Yes.
to the two questions. We don't want this rubbish.
My lord, yes. Let's answer to. My lord, 212, may I read from 212?
Yes.
212. That before the reason discussed above and analyzing the law on the doctrine of full faith and credit discussed above, Delhi Architect versus so-and-so, Supra, examination of records and stamp record, it is found that the Deputy Commissioner, Collector, Riboy District did not assess the market rate in accordance with the law for the 32 acres of land situated at Nongsiar, Pilun, which was required by invoking urgency clause under section 40 of the Act of 2013, which has resulted in wrongful gain to the landowner, Srimati Patricia Nongsich, and wrongful loss to the exchequer of the state government.
To what extent?
I'm sorry?
To what extent?
To what extent is, because, my lord, first, what happened is, when this 32 acre was acquired to be this thing, I'll just explain, my lord. Patricia Nongsich said that I am ready to part with my land at the rate of 50 rupees per square feet revenue, saying that Patricia Nongsich is willing to part with 100 rupees per square feet. Now, subsequently, Patricia Nongsich writes a letter saying that no, now I will not part with 50 rupees, but not less than 100 rupees. Thereafter, acquisition proceeding happens and the land was taken, compensation was paid at 115 rupees per square feet. Patricia Nongsich buys another land adjoining to this land where she was given 115, she pays at the rate of 26 rupees per square feet. 26 rupees per square feet. So that is where the inquiry officer perhaps says that market value could not have been calculated properly.
But the inquiry officer ought to have indicated what was the market value. Where has he done that? Please come to the two questions
Yes, my lord.
of the Supreme Court. This is what he was required to do.
Yes, my lord. My lord, then I'll have to go back, my lord, to the entire finding, because how the land valuation was calculated.
Nothing. It's only a matter of arithmetic, nothing else. Whether the public money as suggested by offering high rate of compensation, which is against the rate offered by the owner and the rate at which she purchased just before acquisition. Question as to who is entitled to compensation may also require consideration. So inbuilt in the first time is what is the quantum of compensation. The High Court will not determine that. Even in LA cases, it's the district judge who does it.
Yes, madam.
So where is that fact finding?
This is.
You're appearing for?
I am from Maxira.
Who is?
Maxira is one of the respondents who has.
How much money have you got, sir?
My lord, I have been paid by Patricia Nongsich. Admitted amount is 5 crores.
5 crores. That money is available with you?
As far as I know that it is.
Very well. Mr. West Chakraborty appearing for?
Mr. Maxira. Actually, I am not very aware of which respondent number.
No, just give the name.
Max Shira.
Max Shira.
MS. Mac Shira. Mac Lindo Shira.
Mac Lindo Shira submits that he has been paid about rupees 5 crore by Patricia, whatever, Nong Sage, and that he retains almost the entirety of the money. Full stop. Yes, what we will do is,
My lord.
we will first send this Patricia Nong Sage wherever she belongs,
My lord.
and thereafter we will require the district judge to complete the inquiry as to what ought to have been the
Market value.
market value of the land in accordance with the law on the date of the acquisition,
My lord.
and therefore determine how much extra was paid so that we can extricate that extra
My lord.
from them.
My lord.
And even the other question, Milord. There are two questions.
Yeah, the question is who is also entitled to compensation, that also has to be,
These two.
that also has to be done.
Okay.
Because he has not answered either that question.
My lord.
And once it comes up from him after his determination,
Yes.
then as if in an appeal, all of you will get a chance to question it or accept it, and then we'll set it down accordingly.
Well,
And you are appealing for the,
Airports Authority.
you have no real role to play. The state acquired the land.
Right.
Who's representing the state?
Steve? Steve, you want
Lord, I appear for those two persons, my Lord, the then Deputy Commissioner and the Secretary Revenue. In person, my Lord. State will be represented by...
And you are still in service, both of you.
But I'm not in that posting anymore, my Lord.
You may not be in that posting, you will be in no posting by the time we finish.
I'm still in service.
You will be in no posting by the time we finish. We want both of you to file your affidavit of assets.
My Lord, we'll do that.
Next week, when the matter comes up for contempt, we want both of you to file your affidavit of assets. Next, what are your names?
My Lord, Pooja Pandey, my Lord, and Bhupesh Hajong.
Pooja Pandey and Bhupesh Hajong, the two officials who were responsible for the perceived additional compensation being paid to the landlosers at the time of acquisition of 32 acre of land for the Umrah airport, will file individual affidavits of assets detailing their assets, including the assets of their spouse, and affirming that beyond what is declared in such affidavit, they do not hold or control any other asset, whether directly or indirectly, asset or money. Paragraph. It is necessary that the money first be preserved so that there is a chance of recovery by the state of the additional money that may have been paid out at the behest of errant officials to the landlosers. Full stop. Paragraph. The two questions which were, the two issues which were raised in the Supreme Court order of August 2, 2017, and for which the Chief Justice of this court was directed to nominate a district judge to determine the matter, were as follows. 1. Whether public money had been squandered by offering high rate of compensation which was against the rate offered by the owner and the rate at which she purchased just before acquisition. 2. Who is entitled to the compensation? Full stop. Paragraph. As in any land acquisition matter, comma, it is for the district judge to ascertain such aspects of the matter, full stop, even though an inquiry was directed to be conducted by the then District Judge Riboy, comma, the inquiry report dated
24/11/2017.
November 24, 2017 is singularly lacking in the answer to the two issues raised. Full stop. Paragraph. The concerned district judge merely confirmed that there was excess payment without applying his mind to ascertain the quantum of excess compensation paid. Full stop. There is also no attempt in the report in determining the rightful persons who were entitled to the compensation. Full stop. Paragraph. Let the matter appear a weekends to receive the affidavits of assets of the two officials and to ensure the presence of Patricia Nongsage and her explanation as to how she could have touched any part of the money that was frozen by the Supreme Court order of August 2, 2017. Full stop. Paragraph. Appropriate directions for the determination of the two issues raised may be issued upon ensuring that the money is preserved or brought back and the assets of the errant officials are not dissipated in the interregnum.
My lord, only thing so far entitlement of Max Shira is concerned, my lord. There is a clear and categorical finding at page 64 of the inquiry offices. Categorical finding that I executed a power of attorney, my lord, in his favor to manage the property. So there was a deal, my lord, that he invested some money for improvement and another. That was subsequent.
That's all right.
But what was brought before the inquiry office.
But sir, the only thing is over here, what is necessary is acquisition should have been at 2 rupees per square foot. Acquisition was at 4 rupees per square foot. Therefore, the state is entitled to refund of 2 rupees per square foot. That should have been the answer to the first question. The answer to the second question was Harry, Peter, John, Paul were each entitled to compensation. Harry to the extent of 20 rupees, Paul to the extent of 1 rupee, Peter to the extent of 70 rupees. That should have been the answer. As in a determination under section 18.
Lordship, so far under section 40, your lordship, what does section 40 say? One of the mode of determination is, my lord, taking into consideration registered sale deed, my lord, in the vicinity of the area.
We understand how to ascertain compensation. We understand. We understand. It's an unregistered deal. How can compensation exceed the offer made by the owner.
I made the offer of 115, Your Lordship. That is
You get
reflected
the
in
offer
the
of 50 rupees.
115, Your Lordship. That is not correct. I am not being my submission.
Let us see.
But that is there, that finding is there, that letter is there, everything is there.
Let us.
I made 115,
Yes.
this is not
Come
correct.
back next week.
Lordship.
Your client has to be present.
Personally, Your Lordship.
Of course, contempt rule has been issued. What do you think?
I will file an affidavit also, she will be present, explaining this situation, my lord. That's
And immediately she has to bring back the money, or we'll find the darkest dungeon for her to go and search for the money.
Thing we have explained in our affidavit, my lord. Some of the money were invested in purchasing
She
land.
has to immediately get the money, whether you bring the money to somewhere,
Course of
we don't
inquiry, the
care.
deputy commissioner has seized the land documents. The land documents are now with the deputy commissioner.
You have to get the money from wherever you can. Beg, borrow, steal, get the money. Yes.
Item number 2.
Consequence to this Honorable Court direction, wide order dated 20th 10/2022.
Yes.
We have carried out our duties as per direction of this court. And there is only one issue that at the page 5 of this court's order, at
Page 5.
Page 5. There's only that
Page 5 of the order.
of the order. No future construction in or around Umiam Lake, at least within 1,000 meter, that is almost one kilometer, Your Lordship, from the high flood level will be allowed before strict norm for such construction and treatment of effluents are put in place. Now, there is a grievances of the surrounding villages which were there before the reservoir came into the picture. They were displaced from that area and they were pushed in and around that place. Now, they have given a letter to the district council, which I have provided the report as well, the letter. That is at flag E, Your Lordship.
Flag E.
Yes.
So, Mr. Kinta,
Yes, Your Lordship.
what the order says is, as you read out, that no future construction at least 1,000 meter from the high flood level before strict norms for such construction. So, it's before strict norms for such construction. Once you get norms for such construction, then the injunction will not apply.
Your Lordship, the issue here is that the treatment of effluents are put in place. What I'm trying to project here is that the grievances of these surrounding villages, we keep note by this Honorable Court.
Mr. Kinta, we are not displacing anybody.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Our order is no future construction. It's not existing construction. It's not future, it's only future construction. And if you as district council certify that all these people have been living there for so many years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then we have no grievance with that.
Yes, Your Lordship. Much obliged, much obliged.
We have no grievance with that. All that we want, and these people, these villages, they don't pollute.
They don't pollute. They have got their own system.
They don't pollute because they know that they have to live off the land. So they take care of the land. They probably respect and worship the land. It's people like us we pollute.
Yes, Your Lordship. That's good. I mean, the influence is coming mostly from the city of Shillong. That we cannot dispute.
Influence is coming from city of Shillong. To an extent that we can control it, we must control it. But affluence will, if you do not have any planned norm for construction, one-ton construction all around over there, today we have a view. 5 years later, I don't think we'll even have a view of the water.
Yes, Your Lordship. Yes, Your Lordship.
And that will not inure to the benefit of particularly the people who are living around that place. Today, let us say there is a cafe which has come up. All right? Forget everything else, forget the food that is being made at the cafe, how they are dealing with it. There will be toilets at the cafe? And where do the outlets lead to?
Yes, yes.
That is where you come in.
We have done our job in that area. We have seen to it and we have prepared a report on the last occasion, and this time also we have monitoring. And some of the...
First and foremost, have you given permission for these places?
We are under process, it's all under process. There are two, especially Moonview Cafe, they have filed an application along with the building plans and everything. Wherever this...
That is supposed to be done before they do it.
Exactly, that Meghalaya building bylaw was not in place earlier. Now...
If it is not in place today, I own a piece of land or my friend owns a piece of land, there is no bylaw in place, can I go and put up any construction that I like over there without seeking permission from the local authorities?
Local authorities, of course, they have obtained your lordship, and that is correct. But so far, influence and...
No. We don't follow you. We don't follow you. Have they obtained any permission from local authorities, or since this is in a fragile area, any environment impact assessment?
I think my colleague will be in a position because he's one of the affected...
We obtained permissions from the local authorities. We filed it by way of an
Who are the local authorities?
Prior to the implementation of the building bylaws, it was the local Dorbash Nong, where the building plans are filed. They sit on it, they deliberate, and then they tell us that these are the things that can be done. Prior to that, we have to obtain a no objection certificate from the district council saying that they have no objection to us making a construction. We have to obtain clearances from the pollution control board. These have been done.
In respect of the cafe?
Both these two constructions.
And how have they been obtained, Mr. Advocate, without effluent safeguards?
Yes, sir.
ETPs are installed.
ETP, what I get the report, that if your lordship will see my affidavit, and in my affidavit the inspection was carried out, and what I see that there is no permission. To my page 11 of my affidavit, my lord, what I see is that there is building plan has to come first, approval has to come, then building has to come. Without approval, and I don't see any building plan on record of any of my friends.
You've got the affidavit.
One is that Moonlight Cafe.
Yes, sir.
That is by the water.
Yes.
The other construction coming up is by the Jackwell pumping
Yes,
station.
yesterday we have detained all the...
There
were construction going on. The moment I came to know, I called the SP.
That is incorrect. I have sought instructions specifically on this issue, There was no construction going on.
Mr. Pal, I have seen it personally.
I know, I am aware of it, That is why we...
And you can want to contradict that?
Yes, What had happened, the police had gone there, they detained...
No police had gone there. There was construction work going on. I stopped the entourage and saw it for 5 minutes, getting down on the road. You want to contradict that?
I cannot. If it is falling from your lordship's I cannot. My instructions were, they were trying to remove...
What kind of rubbish do you come to court with?
They were trying to remove the rock.
They were working over there. They were preparing concrete and dumping it on the roof. That construction work was going on.
I have nothing to say about that. If that be the case, and it's coming from your lordship's I would not say anything further. I was misinstructed.
That's my limit.
I was misinstructed.
So untruth submission in court. There must be a limit to it.
I was misinstructed.
You have crossed that limit.
My instructions were very specific.
Your instructions are false.
I bow down. If it is falling from your lordship's I have to bow down. I have specific instructions on this and these were wrong instructions.
All of you gang up together to spoil your land. How do we care?
If that is the case, I withdraw whatever has been stated before your lordship. This is absolutely on wrong instructions.
Why should we be interested, Mr. Kinta? Their land, their water, let them destroy it. What do we care? You, the district council, you are not bothered. The state is not bothered.
We have conducted an inspection along with the preliminary and pollution. There are 3 pillars near the waterfront which we are told to be dismantled.
Forget the pillars, Mr.
That's carried
Forget
out.
the pillars. What will happen if a cafe runs over there? It's producing food, it's producing waste. How are they going to treat that? Where is it ultimately going to go down to?
True, Your Lordship. At the end of the day, true. There's no.
And what remedial steps are you proceeding to take?
I wish I can, on the individual level, to stop all these things. Construction have already come on the land. Perhaps we have to walk out. Government have to walk out. Perhaps not to allow any cafes or restaurants or hotels to come by the waterfront.
If they do, they have to conform to very strict norms. There has to be a sustainable development. You can't kill the nature and then go for development. There are already existing, the orchid is there, on the other side there's Raikinjai, there's a third private orchid also down the road, which is of course the other side of the road.
There are 2-3 resorts, that's it.
You also probably have, district council also has its construction over there.
We had a long time ago, we have stopped the construction this time.
No, it's not a question of long time ago, it's a question of how do we preserve it? It's from here on, how do we preserve it?
It was
So what are the suggestions?
Yeah, we agree to that there should be no construction within whether 50 meters or 100 meters as directed by this code. But so far the other parameters like influence, discharge and all these things should be kept in place. But
We will look after that.
we are on the job, Your Lordship. We are the one doing it. We have got a separate department doing that. Now round the clock we have been going around.
Simple thing as an order of court injuncting further construction is not being obeyed. Don't tell me that the district council was not involved in it.
That demolition of the pillars were carried out on our
Don't tell me that the district council was not conniving with the constructor.
No, Your Lordship.
Must have been.
That
It's happening in open view. That's the impunity.
I think that the demolition of those pillars were under our direction. PWD also was there, some few 100 meters from the road, something like that.
Demolition of pillars where? At which?
Freezing the road of that Moonview Cafe. Where Jackman? That is Moonview.
Moonview Cafe is not Jackville. Moonview Cafe is before that.
Yes, sir.
Jackville is who? Next to the Jackville pumping station is who?
Philosopher, Yopanu. Philosopher,
Philosopher?
Yopanu, my lords. He's,
And what is that proposed to be?
my lords, that is again a cafe only, my lords.
That's the one being told to dismantle those
That is
pillars.
the one, my lords, where they have been asked to demolish the pillars.
We are under our direction. PWD also directed that they should be moved. That's what I think they've been carrying out that job.
That one has not yet been completed. That one you can impose very strict conditions. But before that, what will you do for Moonlight?
Moonlight is the other one.
And what has happened is, there are 3 of those showrooms, car showrooms which have opened. They opened quietly, and today all the space is filled up with cars, motorcycles, as if that's their property. On a daily basis, they are flattening a bit of land, and it's creeping acquisition of land.
And those discharges are by going to the river, other side.
Of course,
The rivers are polluted.
of course, because the flow is this way.
Yes.
The slide is this way.
I've gone through that area and I've seen it. The entire water bodies is spoiled with discharge from those workshops, those car dealers and all those stuff. Yes, happening. But not to the lake side, but to the other side. Again, the river is polluted in that.
Comes back to the same place.
Comes back.
Comes back to the same source. The river flows into that Umiam, there are several places.
It flows elsewhere, but still the water bodies are polluted. That we have We have called a meeting and we have sat with them, and there's a report. They have got no building permission in place, nothing.
So, Mr. Advocate, it's your call. The state has to look into this.
Yes, Your Lordship.
The state, your pollution control board,
So far as ETP and CTP, etc. are concerned, we have said that it is mandatory. There has to be zero discharge.
but now Mr. Paul says that he obtained environmental clearance from the pollution control board.
No, that has
Now,
lapsed. So far as
What is that clearance? That clearance is yes?
The moon
Clearance was given, my lords.
clearance was given, but as on today there is no clearance, my lord. That has lapsed.
If clearance was given, what was the clearance? Let us see the clearance.
Yes, Your Lordship will see at page 11 of my affidavit.
You have to.
Yes.
Page 11 of,
Page 11 of the affidavit filed yesterday, my lord, 15th November 2022.
by government advocate, yes, page 11.
Now, joint inspection was carried out for all these sites, and Moon View Cafe, my lord, consent to establish has been issued to unit which was valid up to 30th September. MSPCB has also directed letter number dated so and so 9th November 2022, stop all establishment, construction work till the time consent to establish is further renewed by the board as the same has expired on 30th September 2022. It was observed that unit has started construction work, but all works have been stopped in pursuance of closure notice of MSPCB. After scrutiny of construction plan, it was observed that 9 number of column erected facing the Umiam Lake, out of which 3 number of column are recently erected, are found to be less than 50 meters away from the highest flood level of Umiam Lake, which is in violation to government notification dated 22nd February 2022, which bans construction of any structure permanent in the nature of 50 meters distance from HFL. Since 3 columns are within 50 meters of HFL Umiam Lake, inspecting official recommended 3 columns and the portion of building attached to columns shall be demolished. In view of the fact, the inspection team is considered opinion that construction may be allowed subject to strict norms prescribed below. Units shall not construct any building or structure within 50 meters distance of high flood level of Umiam Lake. 3 columns and the portion of building attached to these columns shall be demolished. It shall be zero liquid discharge unit, and there shall be no discharge of treated waste water, sewage water into Umiam Lake. Units shall install STP and ETP for
STP?
Sewage treatment plant. And effluent treatment plant for effective treatment of sewage and effluent. Capacity of the ETP and STP should be at least twice the maximum daily of consumption of water by the unit. Treated waste water effluent shall not be released into Umiam Lake. Treated waste water shall be recycled and used for gardening and landscaping. Solid waste and garbage shall not be dumped into lake. The solid waste generated from the unit shall be properly segregated into wet and dry waste. Wet waste should be given to piggery farms and to be collected on daily basis. Dry waste like papers, etc. shall be recycled, and only the waste that cannot be recycled should be transported to landfill. Units shall submit MOU with Shillong Municipal Board or private agency for collection and transportation of waste to sanitary landfill. Green belt should be created and maintained by the unit from the western boundary face of the lake reaches of the unit till it reaches the highest flood level of lake. CCTV should be installed on all round premises to enable MSPCB to monitor as to ensure no wastewater is being discharged into. CCTV footage should be available all the time, should be produced at any time and when required by board. Copy of content of hard drive should be submitted to Office of State Pollution Control as and when capacity of drive is full. Unit shall ensure that CCTV shall all the working in the condition 24/7. MSPB shall monitor compliance of norm by conducting regular inspection. These are some of the conditions which have been suggested by MSPCB. Similar inspection is of other.
Yes, Mr. Paul, what is your response to these suggestions?
We agree. We have to agree to everything that they say. Whenever they had given us the consent, we have done it as per that. If they want certain changes made, we will have to unconditionally agree.
You have to first remove the 3 pillars. 50 meters above what they've given. We don't stand in the way. It's there. And what about the effluent treatment plant and sewage treatment plant?
We will install it. We will install it.
And we will also direct you to monitor the establishment of the STP and the ETP, and for no commercial exploitation of the building, or commercial inauguration of the business before
Everything is still registered.
you issue satisfactory certificates regarding STP, UTP. As long as that is done, we are happy with it. Who is Rishat Singhi Orchid Resort? Who is that? Is that the government one?
This is the state mullets.
I'm sorry. See this, when you write eastern side of the Guwahati-Shillong road, it is absolutely meaningless.
Yes, Lordship, that picture I can't.
The road is at times going north-south, at times it is going east-west, at times, you are going south-north.
Yes, Lordship. Similar norms are required to be placed for every unit, my lord, otherwise.
This Orchid Resort is the state government's or the other one?
State government, my lord.
Where is the other, that philosopher one, the one that is coming up?
That is the one that my lords have read at serial number 1, my lords.
Jackwell.
That's where your lordships have indicated, they've indicated that we have to demolish the pillars, install the.
No, that is,
That's Moonlight Cafe.
that is not Jackwell.
No, Jackwell is something different. Where is Ever Banalari Guest House?
Ever Baladi Guest House is at serial number 3, my lords, of the
Yes,
report.
no, we've seen that. Where is it situated?
Well, that is the one on top, opposite the, those car showrooms. On the left-hand side, my lord. Car showrooms are on the right-hand side. Left-hand side, there is that building which has come up, my lords, which your lordships would have seen is now fenced off and sealed. That is the one, my lords.
And Moonlight Cafe?
Is
Not
the
Moonlight,
Jackwell,
Lordship, it's Moonview.
it's Moonview Cafe, my lords.
That's before the
Jackwell,
Jackwell.
that's the one under construction where your lordships have. said, my
Moonview
lords,
is there. Oh.
Yes, that's where the dismantling was going on.
This one.
They dismantled this one.
Yes, let us see what are the conditions for Ever Banalari. Guest house. That will be a guest house.
Let's see. Oh, it's,
How many rooms do you have?
that, I guess your lordship, please,
It is
30.
proposed for a guest house apparently, my lords. The rooms, I'll just get back to you, lordships.
This is the photograph. This is construction going on. Case 13 is the inspection with respect to.
Yes, just read it, let's see.
The unit is located on the western side of the road at a distance of around 250 meters from HFL of Umyam Lake. The unit has both hotel and restaurant. It was observed that construction work is almost completed and the unit has also applied for consent to establish from the board.
What board is this?
This Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board, my lord.
Very good.
It was observed that D, the application for consent to establish is under process with the board. Since the unit are established without prior consent of board, a closure notice was issued by the board and unit has complied with the closure notice and no further construction activities are going on. On further inspection, it was observed the unit has already constructed 2 effluent treatment plants. As per the plan and drawing of ETP submitted by the unit of the board, it was observed the ETP is so designed that expected water generated from the unit will be treated and effluent generated will be recycled back and will be reused for gardening and other purpose. Since the unit is close to Umyam Lake, construction may be allowed, perhaps CT may be granted to units subject to following strict norms. Unit shall be zero liquid discharge unit, there shall be no discharge of treated water, etc. my lord. 2, treated waste shall not be released in Umyam, treated waste effluent. Similar provisions, my lord, and same.
We have no grievance.
Yes, same.
As long as you monitor and maintain that.
Yes, your lordship, that is the key issue.
It has an ETP. What about STP?
STP is not in place, my lord, what I see here, at least ETP, now that's why
ETP and STP are both installed, my lords.
STP is also installed.
My lords, in our affidavits, we brought it on record.
But permission, consent to establish has not yet been given, it is under process, my lord. So STP has to be installed if it is not.
They would inspect, my lords, only if it meets the norms.
We will only provide that you will have to certify that the ETP and STP are in accordance with the requirements of the place. And the same CCTV and everything should be there.
Yes, your lordship.
Where is Hills Cafe?
Hills Cafe, Yes,
next to that.
page 14, Your Lordship.
Yes.
The unit is located on the right side of GS Road towards Guwahati at a distance of around 200 meter from HFL.
On the right side of, so therefore, it's on the, it's next to the showrooms.
It's in front of the showrooms, my lords.
It's in front of the
front
showrooms.
of one of the showrooms. Just noticed it.
Construction completed and then consent to establish from the board.
In these matters, this is the violation which they have committed.
So, do you have a rule that?
They have to be booked under the Water Act, Air Act, my lord, whatever I know from the other states and other matters. my
No,
lord.
no, but do you have rules in place which say that before construction, one should obtain
In
permission?
2006 EIA notification, my lord, if I'm not wrong, there is a requirement, my lord. In EIA notification of Government of India, whenever there is a commercial construction and beyond a certain size, they have to seek permission before they can go ahead with the construction. That is the understanding of law I have, my lord, that EIA, because once you construct and then you go, then the purpose will not be served, my lord.
Because then, some parts of the construction may have to be demolished.
Yes, sir. And here, both KHDC and Meghalaya State Pollution Control
Why
Board.
have you not taken any steps against any of them?
Yeah, that I have said that book them, the moment I say, at least I have rudimentary knowledge of law, I book them under the various provision. If it is compoundable, you compound. If it is not compoundable, you prosecute them in the competent court. That's the procedure we have to follow in all matters.
Do that so that others don't come.
I understand. I quite see that we are trying to bring some sanity to the system.
We are coming out of the jungles,
I understand.
but we are establishing the rule of the jungle out of the jungles. We are destroying forests.
Rampantly.
And this cannot be without active connivance of people who are in authority. Whether they belong to your district council or to your state government, this cannot happen. It's happening in open daylight on the main corridor leading the state capital.
Please, Your Lordship. Please, Your Lordship, indulgence. I appear on behalf of the Meghalaya Tourism Development Forum. This is a society, Your Lordship. I am praying for Your Lordship permission to grant me leave to file an appropriate application for appearing as a party.
Don't waste time. Yes, the Advocate General is there, representing the state, you are not above him. Yes.
Yes,
We are here,
You've been set up by some crooked politician.
No, Your Lordship.
Has to be.
No, Lordship. It's like I have the members who are present here, Your Lordship, who concur whatever directions passed by this court. Because they're totally against construction of any kind of cafe across the national highway because that will disturb the clear view of the Umyam Lake.
So what steps have you taken? How did they go? How did they go up? Why did the court have to take up the matter so
That's
motu?
why we just want to suggest few.
Why did the court have to take up the matter so motu when all this construction came up? Why were you sleeping
In fact, Your
if you
Lordship,
had such pious intentions?
Your Lordship, in fact, Your Lordship, we had sent a proposal also to the government for setting up of a Umyam Lake kind of a bylaws so that it will regulate the construction activities, Your Lordship.
And when will you pass your bylaws? After they have completely destroyed it?
That is for the state, Lordship, because we are just a society, because we are for the interests of the environment, not Your Lordship.
Yes, and Mr. Advocate, what about those containers which have come up?
No, yes, Your Lordship. What has happened, my Lord, if Your Lordship will see.
There's some makeshift toilets also which have been set up.
Yes, Your Lordship, that same principle has to be applied.
And where does it go? Straight to the water?
ETP, STP, both, everything, because.
I don't think the state
And
has installed.
who has set them up?
Because.
State.
State.
I made inquiries this morning.
Tourism Department of the state.
My request is an important thing. Your Lordship, kindly see page 23 of my affidavit, the photographs which were there earlier, my Lord. 23.
Mr. Advocate, if you don't want to help yourself,
No, I
I don't
understand.
think we should interfere.
No, one second.
You are an elected government. If the elected government wants to destroy the land,
No, I understand this, the container which are coming is a steel container right in front of view is aesthetically so bad. That is what, after seeing this, I have also said, my lord. But what has happened in,
who is behind all this?
no, what has happened, my lord?
Please tell us who is behind all this. Who is the mind?
No, what has happened before these containers came into existence, my lord, the land is of the local darbar and they were putting shanties all over the places. Or if your lordship would recall, earlier there were shanties all over the places and has roof and has thing. So then they were virtually blocking each and every space on that year. So then the tourism department and they sat and they agreed that we will have some kind of kiosk. And the kiosk which came out in the steel container is quite not suitable. They should have better aesthetically prepared. Because earlier also, if your lordship would see, it was a ugly sight in the sense that entire stretch was covered by shanties, my lord. So then what they did is that they create somehow, who is the consultant, I'm sorry to say that it's a very bad idea. But what has happened, my lord, that they came and now they want to paint it and they want to have local thing also, and there is a space to stand also behind those.
Actually blocks the view.
That there is a problem. There is the problem which we have to sit with the darbar.
We can't do anything.
We have to sit with the darbar.
The state wants
No, it's basically idea of the local darbar who were occupying the entire. We have no control over them, and we wanted to regulate them somehow by giving something so that. But this,
you are the state.
yes, lordship.
If you enact a law, they can't go
Beyond my
around it.
Yeah, beyond my, because
If they want to do something, they have to do it in accordance with law.
yes, lordship. Your lordship has seen that it's very vibrant democracy here, very interactive. For every law, we have to take everybody on board. You know, that kind of issues are there which we have to struggle and we have to co-opt them.
No, you can take for the preservation of the ecology.
Yes, lordship.
You can take draconian measures because after all they have got to come to court to have it annulled.
Yes, sir. I understand.
But we have seen no attempt on the part of the state to preserve the environment or the ecology.
The notification which came only after your lordship has taken up that matter. Otherwise, within 50 meters also construction was going on. That first notification of 22nd February. So we see some difficulties here, my lord. That problem is there. Now, I have also appealed to them that please look into this issue, resolve it, sit with them, not like this, in the steel container you are blocking the view and then you are concrete or steel jungle you are creating just next to those panoramic views. So they will consider, my lord, they will say.
There are places you need an expert body.
Yes, lord, sir.
Primarily environmentalists, also members of the local community.
Yes, lord, sir.
Mr. Quinta,
Yes.
members of the local community, which is the district council that Mr. Quinta represents. So, and some planners. And there are many places you can identify. If, for instance, there is a stretch of, let's say, 20 kilometers from where you can view the water, you can allocate,
Yes, sir.
3 stretches where you can block, subject to, strict STP, ETP.
Yes, sir.
You can do that.
Yes, sir.
The local people also
Will get it.
would have employment opportunities over there. You can also have construction of homestay or even resorts a bit away.
Yes, sir.
After keeping all this is a place that everyone wants to come and see.
Yes, sir.
People also want to stay over there. But that has to be done in a planned manner.
Yes, walking tracks should be there now.
Not in a, those are, dreams. When we become Europe, we do that. Cycling track, walking track.
Tracks, yes, those are the.
But before that, at least save it.
That's an effort your lordship is making and we, I'm sorry to.
I think, personally, I am at the end of my tether. I think I'm only becoming unpopular by doing this.
Your Lordship,
All of you over here should be involved in this.
Yes, Lord.
But you are running down the hill to destroy your land. Why should I bother?
Your Lordship, this,
I am only a temporary visitor over here.
Your Lordship, this 5 minutes of Your Lordship's time. One of the members would like to address just few suggestions, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Lordship.
Please come in front. For a public cause, we are ready to hear everyone.
My name is Ivan Chai Mokro. I'm an architect by profession and a member of the Meghalaya Tourism Development Forum, which is organized.
That's a government body.
No, sir.
It's a private body.
It's a solely non-profit organization. We have been there since 2004. And our main objectives is basically in the promotion of tourism. So when we heard this...
Promotion of tourism has to be sustainable.
Yes.
Promotion of tourism can't be, wanton promotion of tourism.
That's
Because what the tourists come for would be destroyed in 10 years if...
That is our concern. That's why we have engaged Panumbri. What we want to say here, sir, is that we are very okay with what you have said about these the notice that you have given. But what we thought was that, sir, that Umyam Lake is the lobby of the state for a visitor. It's a beautiful place, no doubt. What you said is true. But we just thought that maybe if we could have a different bylaw, a building bylaw, which we're just proposing.
Move the state, Mr.
yes, sir.
Create something for Umyam.
Yes, sir.
Because again, every time that we say, we are not experts, we are just trying to stop destruction and desecration.
Yes, sir.
You apply your mind, we have nothing to say. You consult people like these,
Yes, sir.
well-wishers and locals. You have to balance everything.
If my learned friend's observation is made, and then we will take the bylaws to the government, also proposed idea. So it's a wonderful idea where we can preserve this lake for time to come. Lord.
And in the meantime, let whoever wants over there go.
Construction will not, this order will continue.
Construction.
The order of this code will continue, no construction till the time this order which has been passed by your Lordship will at least save us for some time. Save the lake. So this order will continue, my Lord, and in the meantime we can, and KHDC is the authority which will not grant permission unless they meet the requirement, my Lord.
We will not. We'll go alongside to the State Pollution Board and the other departments.
This is an appeal. Please realize what is good for you. What is good for your grandchildren.
Yes, Your Lordship, yes.
Please keep in mind that we must leave a world where our grandchildren must be able to breathe, play as it is. The facilities of playgrounds that we've enjoyed, our children have not enjoyed. We've actually physically played, our grandchildren are playing on the phone because of lack of space. At least it's so welcoming that over here in many places you see people playing football, fields are constructed at many places, and you haven't reached the kind of desolation around bigger cities like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore, where there are no grounds.
No space.
We used to play on the streets, on cricket we used to play on the streets, at the street corner. But because of increased flow of traffic, children can't play on streets anymore, even on Sundays. You know, the gully cricket, which has thrown up many an international player, gully cricket is street cricket.
Now that is no more there.
Now that is no more there. So, you must realize what is good for you.
Your Lordship will involve Mr. Ivan Makra, is a well-known architect, as also a spirited citizen. We'll take him on board also.
You must take your citizens along with you.
The MTTF would be very glad to offer their services for planning, for doing the what we call the
Please do, sir, but we are not an expert to, set down the parameters. That the state has to find out who are the expert, the state has to do that. And then, watchdogs like you should have complained much before. All these matters we have taken up so motu.
It's been done. They've been voicing their concern for. You involved them?
Sorry? Has any test been carried out, as brother says, about the condition of the water in the lake? What about the toxicity? What about the acidity? What about the pH factor?
Those tests have been carried out, my lord.
Where, sir?
And actually,
Where? Can we get
the water bodies are being monitored in one of the, if I'm not wrong, my lord,
Please sit down.
in one of the cases of NGT, my lord. In one of the cases of NGT, the whole of India, all water bodies, pH level, everything was monitored, including in Meghalaya. Personally, in one of the cases, I was petitioner in NGT before I became AG, and then in Maitandu River and other areas, some water testing was done. There were certain issues and there are certain timelines which have been set out by the NGT to meet those parameters. I can place those materials after getting proper instruction.
It is well known.
I think government have to come up.
I was the Advocate General. You know very well, we've been dealing with this issue of
Yes, sir.
the dirt and the waste filtering into the lake.
Yes, sir.
To the extent that now the lake is, I think, it's polluted
Yes, sir.
and poisonous.
Yes, poisonous, no fishing,
In the
nothing.
later months, there is a green layer on top of the lake and there's a stench.
Now, what is happening that, we noticed that there are two rivers, Umukra, and everything is getting dumped. In fact, the entire whole construction in Fort Furlong and all, those are unauthorized.
That's a different thing, and we were trying to, but everywhere we can't be doing everything. That there's another matter where we are trying to, we've tried to see that those two rivers, for instance, the Umkra, is revived, resuscitated.
Yes, sir.
But, if the administration is not interested, why should we be? We have several matters that we can decide and then go home.
Yes, sir.
Lordship, may I crave your Lordship, the mortem which your Lordship was earlier ordered to find a suitable place, that is also not done, your Lordship.
Which one?
Dumping ground.
The dumping ground. It is saturated, your Lordship, in my report.
Yes, it is saturated, it is saturated.
That is also polluting the whole lake.
This is the opposite the abattoir,
Yes.
opposite the abattoir.
Better.
Lordship was directed to look for
Desiltation
suitable.
of the lake is so important. Last time there was a project, government was supposed to come up with a plan for desiltation.
You are standing in front of us, you are some of the leading intellectuals in this state. Do something. There are private persons who are also concerned.
For the record, sir, way back in 2020, we had given a petition to the government, to the Chief Minister of the Minister of Tourism, on the establishing such a, what we call a rural building bylaws, which is meant only for rural areas. And we have, even Umiam has come into play. That was way back in 2020. So it's not that we have not been doing anything, but we have been trying our best.
You have to have a rural thing, you have to have you don't have a town and country planning act. You have,
The president from Assam.
you have to look at that.
Yeah, my lord, the present bylaws is very urban-centric. The present bylaws, the present bylaws is very urban-centric. There's nothing in the bylaw, I've read the bylaw from the entire page, there's nothing written about distance from rivers, distance from sacred groves, distance from gorges. And Meghalaya, the tourism in Meghalaya, the USP is vista. It's natural, it's about the natural landscape. And if we have those things right across the road, those ugly monstrosity, destroying the vista, then that's gone. And this is happening not only where we have been, in GS Road, it's happening now in Mokdok. It's going to happen in Peninsula.
So if
It's going
such
to
a
happen
building
in
bylaw
Peninsula
is
because
not in place,
it's going to happen in Peninsula because they're developing a huge administrative block in Peninsula where we also have obtained land for the court. And if you see the road that is being developed, the widening of the road that is happening between Shillong and Shora.
yeah, it's happening already.
And already on both sides, you don't have views, right up to Liling Court. On both sides, you're not getting the views that you used to.
So I'm just worried about the vistas here, the natural vistas of the land, which is the USP of Meghalaya.
I think we'll involve him, Your Lordship, District Council. We'll bring out that.
Not only that, you people have to take
We'll bring out a
personal interest, sir.
We'll adopt the Meghalaya building bylaws and bring up all
And
those
why do I
suggestions.
harp? I come from a land where we have crossed the threshold. We are beyond repair.
Yes, Lordship.
You have not crossed that. You can save it.
True, Your Lordship. We still at the right time, we can do all these things. We have lost many pristine places to commercialism.
And the state's avowed intention now is to promote tourism. Now, if there is wanton promotion of tourism without any guidelines, then that's doomed.
Disastrous.
The state also wants to promote IT, and the state wants to promote food processing. Both IT and food processing, if done appropriately, are environment friendly. The state does not want larger businesses like cement and things like that, which are cement or steel, which will destroy. Understood. But to the extent that you want tourism, you must take everyone on board. For instance, Mafanlur, such a wonderful looking place, and I've said that before. There are those three water bodies on top. On a good day, you can see the airport, the Guwahati airport on one side. You can see Bangladesh on the other side. It's a beautiful spot. But it's controlled by that local clan over there. Now they have to be taken on board and advised, how best to preserve and then promote tourism. That a certain distance from the top, vehicular traffic must be completely stopped. Because if you allow cars to go over the meadows, in 2 days your meadow would become barren. And VIP or not, it should be the same rule for everybody. You have a barrier, then walk and enjoy it. The other day we went, can't remember, somewhere very close by, and there are, one of the good things about the state is you have dustbins all over the place. Yet, right next to the dustbin, it's littered with bottles and those habits, you have to probably engage persons and put up a notice board, find people, implement that. You go to Lightroom and you look down. The first thing that will come to your eye are all the rubbish which has been carried by the wind and into the side of the gorge. Now, I am minded to take out a group of lawyers on Sunday to clean up garbage at some places.
We can set an example. We start that.
It is by intervention of Your Lordship, the Watts Lake is clean now. The Watts Lake is clean.
So we'll pass an order. It now appears that the Khasi Autonomous Hills District Council, Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council, and the state government are serious in protecting the waters of Umiam Lake and the environment and the pristine environment surrounding the lake. Full stop. Paragraph. Apart from some of the existing monstrous constructions, several others have come up in recent times or are in the process of coming up, and such construction in gay abandon and with little respect for the surroundings or the aesthetics would have continued had it not been for the present suo motu proceedings instituted by this court. Full stop. Indeed, a report filed by the state on November 14, 2022 and authored by the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board reveals that all three ongoing construction projects which attracted the attention of this court in the first place, do not comply with any norms necessary for buildings coming up by or near the lake. Full stop. Paragraph. What is the name of the body?
Meghalaya Tourism Development Forum.
A private forum by the name of private forum by the name of Meghalaya Tourism Development Forum, comprising prominent members of the society, including leading architects, seek leave to intervene. Full stop. Such forum will be heard and is requested to take a leading role in assisting the court in the present proceedings. Full stop. Paragraph. The District Council submits that the local darbars may have granted initial permission for the three major constructions to have come up, just as permission may have been obtained by the car showrooms on the other side of the road from the Umiam Lake, but the waste generated at all the operating commercial ventures and likely to be generated at the others coming up would either pollute the lake waters or the river waters on the other side, since none of them have appropriate sewage treatment or effluent treatment plants or waste management plans in place. Full stop. Paragraph, the state submits that under the existing laws, an environment impact assessment has to be made before commercial ventures can begin any construction, particularly around any water body, particularly close to any water body, or in pristine forest or woodlands, or woodlands, full stop. The state submits that there is room to prosecute persons who may have commenced construction and thereafter applied for permission, irrespective of getting clearance from the local authorities for such purpose. Full stop. Paragraph. The report of the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board indicates that is the State Pollution Control Board. The report by the Forests and Environment Department no, it's the Meghalaya State Pollution Board. By the Meghalaya State Pollution Control Board, following the joint inspection carried out on November 10 with the District Council pursuant to a previous direction of this court, indicates strict conditions to be imposed in respect of Moonview Cafe, Rishat Sangi Orchid Resort, Ever Banalari Guest House, and Hills Cafe, apart from Messrs. Meghalaya Automotive LLP, Highland Toyota, and Rockland Motors. Full stop. The report also dwells on the strict norms to be followed by other hotels and resorts surrounding Umiam Lake. Full stop. Paragraph. Both the state and the District Council agree that till such time that norms are put in place in consultation with experts on environment, local citizens, architects and planners, the subsisting injunction should continue. Full stop. Both the state and the District Council suggest that it is only when all the commercial ventures indicated in the upcoming commercial ventures indicated in the report furnish undertakings to comply with all norms and conditions set, may they be allowed to function, full stop. Similarly, comma, the car showrooms, resorts and hotels should also be appropriately advised by the state government and the district council to take appropriate measures to ensure that the beauty, the environment and the waters of the lake and the rivers are not affected by their presence or continuing operations. Full stop. For those commercial ventures which have already commenced their operations, the state, through the Pollution Control Board or other agencies and the district council should afford them reasonable time to comply with the strict norms and guidelines, and any failure to adhere to the same within the reasonable time may invite the operations to be the commercial operations to be suspended. Paragraph. The private forum, which has been heard and which is added as the respondent number so and so, submits that though building norms have been introduced in the state, they are urban centric, and building norms for construction in the rural areas, particularly keeping in mind the distance from sacred groves, water bodies and environmentally or ecologically fragile natural spots have not been taken into consideration. Full stop. Paragraph. The state agrees to engage experts to ensure that the pristine environment still surviving in the state is not overrun in the name of development or the promotion of the tourism industry. Full stop. The need for sustainable development cannot be overemphasized, and the state and the district councils should take local citizens, experts and planners on board for formulating norms for future construction or for laying down guidelines for protection of water bodies like the Umiam, whether generally or in respect of specific lakes and rivers. Full stop. Paragraph. Mr. Paul appearing for Moonview Cafe has submitted upon a query raised by the court that no construction activity has been continued at the unfinished Moonview Cafe, in view of the subsisting injunction in the present proceedings, full stop. However, construction activities have been noticed in plain view in recent times, full stop. The state and the local police will ensure that the injunction on construction activity in terms of the orders passed in the present proceedings is not violated, full stop. Paragraph. Mr. Kinte, appearing for the District Council, has expressed and has indicated certain fears expressed by villagers who were displaced at the time that the Umiam Lake was created. Full stop. For a start, villagers and their ilk indulge in better practices than urban animals, full stop. Further, the subsisting injunction pertains to future construction and not to settlements already established, full stop. The District Council will do well to allay the fears of the villagers and look into guidelines and norms being set for expansion of the settlement as long as expansion of the settlement without affecting the environment, full stop. Paragraph. It is hoped that the state, the district councils and informed citizens cooperate in ensuring that the beauty of the state, the natural beauty of the state and its vistas are preserved for the future generations and are not lost at the altar of a quick buck or development. Full stop. Let the matter appear a week after the vacation.
Maybe, please, Your Lordship.
Yes.
What falls to me, Your Lordship? As per Lordship, earlier order that immediately they have to look for the dumping ground, but they haven't done so far.
It is already, I have got the instruction, my lord, that we have got expression of
See,
interest.
at times we are slightly,
This is already there.
what do we say? We are slightly diffident in going into every. We've gone from lake to river, from river to waste, from waste to town and country planning. So,
This
what is left for the administration?
garbage goes to the lake, that's the problem.
There is no garbage goes to.
Full stop. Meanwhile, the state should ensure that that an alternative site is discovered for the already overflowing dumping site, and that no waste, no liquid or other form of waste seeps into the already toxic waters of the Umiam. Full stop. Yes, Mr. Paul.
My lords, an apology is due for my side on wrong instructions, my lords. Personal apology to your lordships.
please find out. These are,
Well, I was given
these are
absolute wrong
sharks who will
instructions.
do anything for,
Absolute wrong instructions, my lords. I was thankful to the learned AG now. Certain photographs were shown to me, my lords, and it has fallen from your lordships. It's given completely wrong impression about the entire thing. My personal apologies.
I just did not want to bring the evidence myself, otherwise I could have got the evidence. There was full-fledged construction work
Once it
going
falls
on.
from your lordships, my lords, the matter ends. We have that much faith, my lords. And my sincere apologies, my lords. I was under absolute wrong instructions of this.
Yes, but all of you,
We'll take
please
care
don't
of
miss
this,
the
my
larger picture, beyond your client.
lords.
Don't miss the larger picture.
Absolutely, my lords.
Much obliged, Lordship.
Obliged.
Good day, Lordship.
Highly obliged.
Item number 3.
And please participate, please give suggestions which are good.
Yeah,
Please take an active interest. You know, we owe it to our future generations.
The next,
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yes.
obliged.
Item number 3.
Another PIL.
This is the incidental challan matter, limestone challan matter, Miller.
Yes.
We have gone to the Supreme Court, some orders have been passed.
Yes.
Please, report, Lordship.
That is the thing of the order which relates to the export to Bangladesh.
Yes, Your Lordship, that's the only part. So far as,
What is there for us to decide?
My lord, two letters which has been communicated to me by my client, my lord.
Yes.
This 11 October 2022.
Yes.
My lord, this letter was written by the Chief Conservative Officer, Forest Officer to the Divisional Forest Officer, my lord. This Shillong, Juwai, Tura and Ullamnagar and Divisional Forest Officer SF and T. Longstreet, Bagmara, my lord. So by this letter, my lord, it was they have referred legal opinion given by the learned Advocate General, and they have said that a new challan should be issued to export, my lord. Within the state, they can issue the challan. Even then, my lord, challans are issued. Till date, my lord, we have the document, my lord, along with us. That should be stopped, my lord, till the matter is finally decided.
No, they've got a stay from the Supreme Court.
No, that is not what I understand, my lord, my humble understanding, my lord. That is the observation which was made by this honorable court. That has been, my lord, kept in evidence till the matter is finally decided.
No. Where is the order? Where is the relevant order?
My lord. 7/9, my lord.
7 September.
Yes, my lord, 7/9. My lord, we kindly see.
Yes. 7 September.
7 September 2022.
What is your grievance? What is your grievance in the PIL?
My grievance is in twofold, my lord, now. First, it was the incidental challan which was issued. They should not issue, my lord. That is my grievances, primary grievances. Subsequently, my lord, after filing number of RTIs and all, my lord, now we came to know, my lord, that by minor mineral license, they are exporting it to Bangladesh. According to my understanding, my lord, that is not permissible, my lord.
Were you represented in the Supreme Court?
Yes, my lord, we have represented.
You couldn't say anything over there?
No, my lord. There, my lord, over the instruction which I have received from my friend who has appeared, they have informed the Honorable Supreme Court that maybe a contempt notice will be drawn against the officer. That is why, my lord, this order has been kept in effect. That is the instruction that I have received, my lord.
It's an unreasoned order, but it's binding on us.
Yeah, that is binding, my lord. We are helpless on that. But my lord has to decide now, my lord, finally. And time frame has been given also.
Your Lordship,
The state wants to destroy itself, why do we bother?
No, Your Lordship, we are collecting higher revenue, my lord. We are following the
You
mining
are
plan.
collecting high revenue, do it in accordance with law.
We are doing it in accordance with law, my lord.
We'll repeat the same thing and pass the same order. Go back to your Supreme Court.
Your Lordship, I quite see, Your Lordship.
We'll repeat the same order.
Your Lordship, kindly see 6 May order of Your Lordship, 6 May order of Your Lordship. Because if Your Lordship will see the prayer of my friend at page 28 of the PIL, state has filed an action taken report. Amendment has been made to Meghalaya to plug loopholes that existed. While so and so, the petitioner maintains that illegal mining of limestone continues unabated, even though state has no authority to grant any permission for any limestone quarrying, since the limestone is a major mineral. And only in exceptional cases, when the limestone used in claim for manufacturing of lime as building material, would limestone be regarded as minor mineral. According to the petitioner, on the basis of permits for permission issued or granted by state, influential people are carrying out legal.
All you have to do is do it as a major mineral.
No, Your Lordship, so far as my humble submission is, my Lord, that if Your Lordship, I have placed that notification. Notification says that the end use has to be building material, my Lord.
Yes.
Now, the end use that, for end use also, my Lord.
How will you monitor how will it be used in Bangladesh?
If there is no requirement in law, with respect, my Lord, if there is no requirement in law, whether we can, by order, bring this requirement to test, because even I don't have control of the end use in Assam also, in other places also, my Lord. Minor, those who are using the minor mineral then. So then, my Lord, the problem is that if I give grant a license or lease to the person who comes and says that I want to extract limestone as minor mineral for building purposes, he will sell it in the open market as minor mineral, my Lord. That minor mineral may land up in building material, it may land up in some other end use, my Lord. Now there the control is not envisaged, in my humble submission, my Lord, that there is control is not envisaged in the law, my Lord. That is my first submission, my Lord. Now second submission, my Lord, is that
You want to finish it off, we'll finish it off. We have no doubt that the view expressed is absolutely.
Your Lordship may have it after.
If I can pose, my lord, senior. My lord, here, two more parties.
One was, you had issued some, initially you had some law which permitted incidental thing.
Yes.
Then there was, incidental was a farmer requiring 90,000 metric tons.
Yes, sir.
Those figures were there.
Yes, sir. That Your Lordship will have come, we have changed it, and after 2019, we have placed the affidavit also, Your Lordship. That issue, Your Lordship, has to an extent noted in 6 May order, Your Lordship. But the another issue which has been raised by my learned friend is with regard to whether the state has competence to grant mining leases to minor mineral by way of PIL.
We are convinced you do not have.
Your Lordship, I will try to persuade Your Lordship. Kindly give me one opportunity to place some material and
Tomorrow? We'll finish it off tomorrow. They say 3 months, we take 1 day.
3 days.
1 day.
3 minutes. Your Lordship.
We are not like that, we are much better. We take 1 day, not 3 months. Tomorrow.
May I have it on Monday or Tuesday, Lordship. Monday, Lordship, Monday, this Monday.
Two more things, my lord, I want to bring into the notice of this honorable court, my lord. There are certain minors also who approach with a similar kind of SLP, my lord, which has also been remanded back. They said you go to the High Court. They are playing hide and seek, my lord. They have gone to the Supreme Court, but they are not before this honorable court. If they was really interested, my lord, and they was agreed by this order of this honorable court, they should have been here today, my lord. And I want to bring them also, make them also a party in this, my lord. Let them also see, otherwise they will again go to the Supreme Court and they will say, my lord, we will not be heard. That was the exact submission which has been.
File an affidavit
that is
to
not
indicate
correct.
this.
That is not correct.
File an- they have all been set up by the state.
No, my lord, my case is, I will place my case, my lord, I will place my case.
We'll slowly coming to the idea that the coal mining is also illegally sponsored by the state.
No, your lordship. After your
We'll
lordship,
render that finding. Just before elections.
Just before election. My lord, Senior has to resign then, my lord.
Why does that?
it's too much a burden to take.
Only, my lord, they should comply with this letter, my lord. We have no grievances, my lord, thereafter.
The state had carried a petition for special leave to appeal to the Supreme Court against an order of September 7, 2022, by which it was held, prima facie, that when mining of limestone as a minor material requires the use of the minor mineral for construction purposes, a minor mineral license cannot be granted for export of limestone. Full stop. Paragraph. By the order dated November 11, 2022, the following has been stated by the Supreme Court. Open court, from in our considered view to the special leave petitions are disposed of on the above terms. 4 paragraphs, 4 small paragraphs. Paragraph. At the time that this petition was filed in public interest, the petitioner assailed the practice by which limestone mining was allowed for incidental purposes full stop. The facts revealed that ostensible farmers had mined more than 90,000 metric ton while preparing their land for agriculture. The details obtained by the petitioner pursuant to queries raised under the Right to Information Act 2005 have been indicated in some orders, and it was such alarming situation that prompted the court to take up the matter. Full stop. Paragraph. In course of the proceedings, it came to light that a lot of the mining licenses for mining limestone as a minor mineral were being abused in limestone being ultimately exported. Full stop. Though the state submitted that considerable revenue was generated by the export of limestone, the state could not indicate how the export of limestone would meet with the requirements of the license being obtained as a minor mineral, since limestone being mined as a minor mineral was confined to limestone being used for construction purposes. Full stop. The order dated September 7, 2022 referred to a memorandum of July 25, 2022 issued by the Ministry of Mines of the Government of India. Full stop. The relevant paragraph from the memorandum was set out, and the paragraph interpreted to imply that the end use of limestone had to be for the manufacture of lime used as building material for it to be regarded as a minor mineral, full stop, or else, the mining would have to be as of a major mineral and appropriate steps taken in accordance with law. There was no paragraph, there was no prohibition on the state to act in accordance with law and ensure that exporters of limestone obtain license of the mine mineral license as a major mineral in accordance with law. Full stop. Paragraph. In view of the stay granted by the, in view of the observation of the Supreme Court that the order dated September 7, 2022 will remain in abeyance, such order cannot be made at an interim stage, full stop. However, the only question that is to be decided is based on the interpretation of the said notification of July 25, 2022, said memorandum. Full stop. Paragraph. The petitioner reports that several fly-by-night minor mineral licensees of limestone who may have been observing the present proceedings or who may have been set up by the state had approached the Supreme Court with individual special leave petitions, despite individual special leave petitions, full stop. However, despite such petitions being disposed of because of the pendency of the present proceedings, such adventurers have made no attempt to participate in the present proceedings, despite, obviously, being aware of the same. Full stop. At the request of the state, the matter will appear for final hearing on, give Monday's date. Because nothing else is left, we'll record you've done that and we'll say that this is the same thing.
We'll try to persuade Milord, we'll try to cite some authorities also on that. And some, because what has happened, Milord, I've examined the MMDR Act.
Problem.
Yes, Your Lordship.
You only have to deal with the major mineral license.
No, Your Lordship, if I say something, Milord, that I went through the MMDR Act yesterday night. There are two schedules attached to the MMDR Act. First schedule deals with the minerals which are mentioned in the first schedule. Fourth schedule refers to, Milord, the limestone. And in 2015, there is an amendment carried out in MMDR Act inserting 3A, and 3A speaks about notified mineral, Milord. So 3A speaks about notified mineral, and under that, fourth schedule is there, Milord. And then the minor mineral is defined under 3E of the this. Milord, what I have seen in other states also, that there is a value, there are certain authorities in Madhya Pradesh also, there were certain issues of this nature came up, Milord. So there also they were examining which mineral will be suitable for cement, and what is the quality of mineral or limestone will be suitable for cement, and what is for this, Milord. All these materials, Milord, I will place, because this
we are not shutting you out.
And this, so far as this last letter is concerned, that letter has been issued by Ministry of Mine on our query as to what is the exact nature of whether limestone can be exported or not, and then this Director General of Foreign Trade gave that it is a free. That letter is also there, Milord. On Monday, I will.
Very well. Since the matter turns on a memorandum issued by the Union, Dr. Muzika, learned DSG, now? DSGI, present in court, is requested to represent the Union at the final hearing. The petitioner will forward all papers pertaining to the matter to Dr. Muzika in course of today.
Lordship may have it on Tuesday. Monday, Lordship has also kept one matter for final hearing, if I am not wrong.
We don't find time, we have 3 months.
So much 3 minutes. Today only the judgment is dictated, Lord.
Yes.
Item number 4.
Please, Your Lordship.
Yes, sir.
I am appearing in this matter.
Yes, you are not Dr. Saraf?
No, I am Mr. Pritam Burwa, Lordship.
Yes, Mr. Burwa, how can we help you?
Lordship, this 3 cases, that is item number 4, 5 and 6
are they covered by this judgment?
Judgment of
the Honorable Supreme Court has decided exactly similar issue, my lord, arising from Uttarakhand, my lord.
And
that arising from Delhi High Court and...
So they will dispose of in terms of this order?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, Lordship.
Very well.
My lord, only one thing, my lord, if Lordship is the same. This is a challenge to...
Just 1 second. Just hear him, then we'll hear you.
My lord, initially the central excise exemption was to the extent of 100%, my lord. After coming into GST, this was a new scheme was floated, and that earlier scheme was withdrawn. 58% which devolves into center. The center has by a different mechanism, the center is reimbursing that 58% to these companies, my lord. The question was, what about the remaining 40%, which is devolved upon the state, my lord. The Honorable Supreme Court, has dismissed the challenge to the notification, my lord, but has said that they still have some grievance to be addressed by the state government, and they are allowed to present before the GST Council and the state government, my lord. That is the.
So that will provide them the same thing, my lord.
Yes, Lordship.
How many matters?
3 matters, 4 matters.
The appealing parties, now, both these are petitions, both the petitioners and the union agree that the principal issue arising in the present set of proceedings has been answered by the Supreme Court in its judgment of October 17, 2022 in Civil Appeal number 7405 of 2022 bracket Hero Motocorp Limited versus Union of India, full stop. According to the union, now, it is fairly submitted on behalf of the union that though the Supreme Court order has dismissed the challenge to a office memorandum of January 7, 2003.
No.
Is it that?
5/10/2017, my lord.
Challenge to
5th October
a
2017.
notification of October 5, 2017, comma, it has permitted the private parties to make representations to the state government, appropriate state government, for the state government's end of about 40% subsidy,
42%.
42% subsidy that was available prior to the GST regime coming into place, CGST regime coming into place, to be restored. Full stop. There is no dispute that a mechanism has been arrived at by the union to reimburse to the manufacturers, comma, the share of the union of about 58% of the subsidy that existed prior to the present regime, paragraph. Accordingly, comma, WPC numbered so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so are disposed of by taking on record the aforesaid Supreme Court judgment of October 17, 2022, and by leaving the writ petitioners in each case, the writ petitioner in each case, free to approach the appropriate state government in respect of the balance claim on account of the 42% subsidy that they were entitled to prior to the present regime being put in place. Full stop. Paragraph, there will be no orders to cause.
Therefore, represent as per the Honorable Supreme Court's order, my lord, to the state government as well as to GST Council, my lord.
Para 92. Take appropriate steps. We don't have to specify. Yes.
No, Lordship, the representation part, it says like, we therefore permit the appellants to make representation to the respective state governments as well as to the state GST council.
GST council.
State governments and the
GST council.
GST councils.
So they're supposed to dispose of the representation.
Lordship,
Yes.
para 80 of the judgment.
Yes.
Lordship, para 80 of the judgment I'm seeing, Lordship.
Very good. Yes. Thank you.
Much obliged.
Kerja. Mulai.